You're listening to Healing Voices Project, where we share stories and the latest information from people who fight addiction every day. I'm Mike Torville, your host and author of Voices from the Fallen. Thank you for listening, for following, and most of all, for sharing with people you care about. Make your voice count too. Hello everybody, thanks for coming back to Healing Voices Project. I'm Mike Torville, and today we have a guest who is actually an old friend, and I don't even know why we didn't have Cristina di Nardo on earlier. I've known Cristina for 10, maybe 15 years, and she is a clinical hypnosis. She also runs Individual and Family Counseling Center and Dupre Hypnosis. Cristina, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Sure.
For having me.
Glad to have you. There's a lot to talk about here. And as I said, I think it's kind of funny that we were talking a few weeks ago and said, hey, by the way, you treat people with addiction, you treat people with during mental health, and you treat all kinds, you counselor and Dupre hypnosis, helping people through bad habits and things like that. And I said, why haven't we talked before about having you on? And also, I should not fail to mention, you wrote a book called The Best You Through Hypnosis, Total Mind and Body Transformation. And this is the book, The Best You Through Hypnosis. You just published this.
Yes.
How long ago?
The second edition. This is the second one.
Second edition?
Yeah. After 10 years, we looked at it and we say, what we need to change, what worked, what didn't work, and we realized what worked better, and so we redid. This is the second edition.
This is the updated version.
The updated version, right.
And how long has this been out?
This is just maybe about a year ago.
About a year ago, okay.
Yeah.
The other thing, too, is before we get started talking about what you do and your practice and all that, is I know you also helped a good friend of ours. We won't mention his name, but he was a constant smoker and smoked all the time. And somehow we started talking. He went through this treatment, hypnosis, and it's been about a year, and he hasn't smoked since. And believe me, knowing this guy, if you can stop him from smoking, I think you can stop anybody because he was just
he was skeptical. He was very skeptical.
But it was, to me, that was like, wow, that really says a lot. So that's great. That's one success story, I'm sure, of many that you have. So again, everybody, we're talking to Cristina di Nardo at the Individual and Family Counseling Center and Dupre Hypnosis that is located right here in Agawam, Massachusetts.
159 Main Street.
159 Main Street.
Main Street, yeah.
Now, you've been in this field for 40 years.
Yes, doing this.
Yeah,
counseling. In the last 10 years, I have deepened my study in clinical hypnosis.
Okay.
And so we do, I do hypnotherapy for people that have anxiety or whatever they have. And then I do age regression for people who have been traumatized in the past in life.
Can I just, age regression?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, age regression is when something happened on the person's life, when they were young or whenever, okay? And you know that when something happens, we call flight, fight, or you remain running.
Or freeze, right?
Yeah, freeze or catatonic. It happened to me, so I had to work that through. And so the conscious mind, your body remains there, but your subconscious gone. So there is a split. Unfortunately, when an incident comes back in life that looks like that, the part of you, the split, comes back, frightened, and with the same feeling. There was a father who said to me, when I reproach my son and I get angry with him, I see the little boy that my father was yelling at. I mean, that's just so touching. When he said that, I said, oh my God, he really doesn't want to be angry with his son. So that's what we rescue. We rescue the little boy through age regression, through hypnosis, and let him, the little boy, look at me, I have grown up into a man. You don't have to be there anymore. You are free now to come with me, and I can show you a different way to live. And that's so beautiful. It's so touching, because a person comes out feeling alive, healthy. Like I ask them, how would you like to feel if you don't have this anymore? It says, free, where I can't be angry anymore, feeling connected with my son. It's amazing, and that's how they feel when they come back. Usually a session like that lasts about 2 hours, and it's important because you want to rescue every part that's been left over there.
Well, the session that lasts 2 hours, is the required follow-up or consistent?
That usually what I do when they come, I accept their insurance to find out what's happening. And I prepare them, so we restructure. So this is called, you have to enhance the ego strengthening. So it means if he gets angry, I have to find the other way for him to cope with it. And then we rescue that little boy. Otherwise, he doesn't know new behavior. So a few sessions is going to be without, like an hour session without the hypnosis.
Okay.
And then in the use of the CBT, the cognitive behavior theory, which we're restructuring a new life for. And then we do the 2 hour session. When they do the 2 hour session, after that, they're usually doing very well. They don't come back.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've had a lot of success stories.
Yes.
Now, you've been in counseling, individual and family counseling, in that field for 40 years, and you got into hypnosis 10 years. So, but there's a process to this, and there's a difference between, I won't call it clinical hypnosis and
stage hypnosis.
What's the other type of
stage hypnosis?
Stage hypnosis,
or different hypnosis. So you may
for entertainment. You mean?
Well, you may have like someone who have maybe 40 people, sometimes 60 people, whatever, and they do hypnosis on smoke cessation. This is a no clinical hypnotist. They don't have a license, but they have ability, to help people because they use induction. For example, I use a metaphor that I say when to do the weight loss. Less is more.
Mm-hmm.
If they understand what less is more, it means that if I eat less and I eat healthy, more fat out of my body. So once they get that thing, so they use this kind of metaphor, and they're very successful. But they are no clinical hypnotists.
Yes.
So clinical hypnotist is someone, it takes years to be trained. It has to be a doctor or a licensed therapist.
Mm-hmm.
They won't even train, in our place, they won't even train someone who's massage therapist, because clinical hypnosis is used to change behavior. And the person has to know all the psychic about behavior and how to change and how to help the person. And if you are not trained, how are you going to help someone?
Okay. Well, there's a lot more to it than I think most people think.
Yeah, hypnosis. People think that they make you bark like a dog, and that's called a stage hypnosis.
That's a stage hypnosis, so you don't do that.
No. And the people stage hypnosis are very good. You know why? They're very skillful people who choose the people through the audience.
Mm-hmm.
They are, and people want to succeed, so they want to make the audience laugh, or
of course.
So therefore they participate, and that's how it's successful.
To me, that's a little scary, but
it's a fun thing.
Now, when you have somebody come in, or somebody who's considering, well, I don't want to get ahead of myself because I'm about to, but what types of people would be good candidates for hypnosis?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I do it, first of all, a person who's motivated, who really wanted to change. So let's talk about addiction, because that's one of the hardest. To smoke cessation, weight loss and everything. So we don't really to go very deep in the hypnosis, because we do change the behavior first, and then we do the hypnosis.
You said smoking cessation.
Yeah.
Weight loss. How about addiction?
That's the one we're going to talk about. For addiction, I know I have helped people who were on, we talk morphine for over 20 years, never touched again. And the change in them is unbelievable. Now you said, how do you do, Cristina? Now I'm going to tell you how to start. First, I'm going to find out what kind of behavior is happening during the day. What do they do? When do they take the drug? When is important for them? After I found out that, we restructure the day for them.
Mhm.
Okay. So, for example, the person who rather than go to the bar to drink, so we say, "How about you going to the gym?" Okay. So we restructure the day for them and the behavior. That's called ego strengthening. And after we do that, we ask the person, "How would you like to feel?" You know, some people say, "I never felt different," and I said, "But imagining." Okay, have you ever seen someone who's able to function? So then we use a model in some way. After they restructure the behavior, then we do the hypnosis. The part about the hypnosis that is important, that the person is able to visualize himself or herself the way they
So
would
you
like
do
to be.
this, and I guess when you're saying you're altering or disrupting the patterns.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, and with that, you do the visualization prior to the hypnosis.
First, I'm going to find out what's happening,
Okay.
and then we do the visualization.
Oh, so you identify what's happening.
Yes.
Then you do the visualization,
Yes.
and then
And then we do the hypnosis.
hypnosis. Okay.
So about hypnosis, because hypnosis is an altered state of mind, but it's actually the best way that I can describe it for me, is the connection or the communication between your subconscious and your conscious mind. So once you create visualization in your subconscious, it's just so much. Not only you get a goodies by thinking about, but you get a goodie the second time when it's happening.
Mhm.
So that's what encourages the person. It says, "I did it," and you do it to a state of relaxation. You know, the people who take drug, they want this stuff, so they're anxious. So when they relax, then the anxiety is gone. And that's what they refer to, not the anxiety. They want the stuff. They are searching for the relaxation. Okay.
Are there certain types of behaviors, addictions, habits that respond better than others? In other words, if you have more success with certain types of behaviors than others?
Okay. So there are drugs. When you talk about drugs, okay, alcohol also has a dependency, but when you talk about hard drugs, okay, there is not only the emotional dependency, the wanting, but there is also the psychological, that if I don't have that, someone described it to me like this, and I think I never forgot. He says, "Cristina, when I can't take the drug, it's like when I'm in the water and I'm drowning. I need to get the air. Oh, I am dead.
It's that desperate. Yeah.
I am dead."
How do you
So-
address that through
Well,
hypnosis?
that's what I say.
There's
I
a
say,
physical
sometimes,
dependency as well.
Sometimes
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have to die in order to come back.
Do people accept that answer?
Well, but in some
I mean,
way,
that's a tough one,
dying,
yeah.
but it's a different kind of dying. You have to let go of that stuff. That no longer it's your friend. You're gonna die in death, but you are going to visualize the part of you that you can connect, which is the relaxation, the action that you do that helps you to feel better, maybe the exercise, taking a walk. So like for people who have smoking, breathing is the part that helps them because they clean their lungs rather than putting the poison inside. So that's the idea that a person gives to the visualization. It's you being with your family, come back from work and feel that there is there. They don't want to see that there is a at the corner who takes drug, leave me alone. So that kind of vision helps a person, plus the relaxation. People don't have to come for something like that weekly. And I remember there was one client that my secretary said, he was taking drug, and he said, "Cristina, what did you do to that guy? He comes happy, and I said, "He doesn't take the drug anymore." And he says, "He's a different person." Oh, when I meet on the street, he would know.
Well, that's beautiful.
He just smiled to me. He doesn't, because he was saying, "Cristina, I can't stop it because I have a pain in my back. Don't you know? It doesn't go away." And then he tells to me, "How come the pain is gone? It's not there anymore?" What was the pain? It was the pain of not having the drug. Do you see the difference?
Oh, yeah.
He
Yeah.
understood that. It's amazing.
I would think about this and tell me how the difference in how effective hypnosis is, and how often or how does your success rate change if it's accompanied by other therapies or treatment support groups or even medications? Do you suggest this isn't done in isolation? And so do you find more success when it's accompanied by other types of treatments?
Well, I think about you count maybe the group or something. They
Well-
are successful because they are based on action. So in more behavior, you know.
Okay.
What I do, I also do not only the action, the behavior, but I touch the subconscious. Let me see if I can make you understand about this hypnosis. I remember when I was young, and now we didn't eat meat on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there was a belief. Okay, if I ever ate meat on Friday, I would spit it out because it was in my subconscious. So what's happening with people who take drugs, the moment that they have the feeling that they want this, they have developed the new behaviors. So when it comes, even for the food or something, you could hear the voice inside of themselves that says, no, don't even think about that. Okay, so that is very powerful. Okay, and they have developed the new behavior, so they do the new behavior. For example, I do not only the hypnosis, but I record the hypnosis, and then I email it to them or text message to them, so they can listen to any time, except when they're driving.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
That's a good
They can
suggestion.
listen. So when they go into the state of relaxation, now they have learned how to relax.
Would it require reoccurring visits with you, or would the
Yes.
recordings suffice?
No, reoccurring visit.
You've got to have
Because they are growing. What they
Okay.
did, what that they don't work before. Now we develop a new.
and so you may
behavior.
have a new session, therefore a new recording.
Absolutely.
That they have
every time. they
every
come.
single time. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
How many sessions typically would it take?
Well,
Or is it
there are
vary?
some people that I still see maybe once a month. That they need their contact.
Okay, yeah.
There are some people that I don't see them anymore, and they have really all the people who have supported the family are usually doing very well. Yeah.
So you find that makes a difference too.
Oh, a lot of difference. A lot of difference.
And without support, the
It's
likelihood of
much
success
harder.
is diminished, right? So
Yeah, it all has to do about ego strengthening. Depends how strong the ego is in the person. I really want that. How important is for me, And they also, the people they live with, they have to let go of the fear that the person is going to judge them.
let's take the case of our friend that we talked about earlier. How many sessions did he go through to quit smoking?
I would say maybe the one for quitting smoking. That's just one.
Just one.
Yeah, most
Just
of
one.
my clients for weight loss smoke cessation is only one. Some people, I could tell you, some people may need two. The reason they need two is because maybe they have ADD, and so they're anxious. So we have to work on their part.
You mentioned earlier that this particular friend, and again, like a lot of
Yeah.
people, he came in before the session skeptical.
Yes, they will.
How do you counter that?
Well, I could tell you one time I had a woman who says to me, Christine, I've gone to 4 hypnotherapists. None of them has worked. And I said, okay, where are your cigarette? I said, in the truck or in the car, I said, and where is your lighter? And I said, you can leave because I told you that you cannot bring anything and let go of everything at home and here. And she says, you smart. And then she never smoked again. But the question is that she had no intention of stopping. I guess she says, maybe there is a miracle that happens when I go over there, but I still have the cigarette in the car if I need. That is not changing.
It's not going to work.
No.
No. So besides skepticism, you said somebody really has to want. They might be
Yes, has
skeptical,
to
but
want.
still they're motivated.
Yeah,
right?
but something happens. See, when I do the cognitive behavior theory, when they come for smoke cessation, I already map. They tell me what's happening. So I map their life again differently. Okay, for example, they'll take a cigarette between, when they leave home to the car. And I say, oh, I guess fantastic. So you have a cigarette at the, so rather than have a cigarette to the car, have you ever thought maybe, I don't know, maybe holding a bowl in your hand, something, having something, so singing when you're in the car. So whatever they tell me, what would be helpful for them. So they now replace the kind of behavior with a new behavior. When the hypnosis comes, that's what they tell them to do it.
So if somebody comes in and they're a little, I don't want to belabor this, but I'm just trying to think, if I walk in and I say I'm a little skeptical, a little nervous, I've heard about hypnosis and I probably have some misconceptions about it, and we can talk about that in a minute. But if I go in, what do I expect to happen when I'm ready for my hypnosis therapy? Do I lay down? I know you don't wave a watch in front of me.
Oh, no,
it's none of that stuff.
I have a sort of reclining chair that the person.
Do they go to sleep?
But no.
Okay.
They hear everything that I'm saying.
And they're wide awake.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Their eyes are closed.
Okay.
Because they go into a sub. So they visualize what I'm telling them, that they already gave it to me.
Okay.
Okay.
There's nothing to fear, obviously.
Oh, no. They go in a state
But I think
of
people would be a little nervous, a little apprehensive to say, what's going to happen here? Am I going to be aware? How do you...
Okay, I'll tell you, was one client that she told me, I'm not going to close my eyes, Cristina, because I'm afraid where you're going to take me.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I told her, I said, anything that I say, you're going to hear it. And you don't have to accept anything that you don't believe in. Okay. So what I told her, I said, I believe in God. If someone hypnotized me, tell them that God doesn't exist, I'm going to open my eye and like say bullshit. Because it's not what I believe.
Right.
Okay. So hypnosis is self-hypnosis. Nobody can hypnotize you against your will.
See, that's really important.
Absolutely
for people to know that.
You hear everything a person tells you. Okay, when you do the age regression, you go back into the past, but you see the little girl there was, or the boy, whatever, okay, except that how he's dressed, how old he is. That's when you rescue. But the person is conscious that I'm there.
Are there any unintended consequences to hypnosis? Meaning, does anybody have side effects that say, now you triggered a trauma that I regret? It was buried in my mind, and you've opened up this trauma.
I know what you say.
Does that ever happen?
That's called an abreaction. So I can tell you about it. I do not do hypnosis on the phone far away because I don't know where the person is.
Of course.
An abreaction, it means that if I do hypnosis and kind of brings back something about the past, I'm going to see that immediately. Okay. And that's where I said, where are you? What do you see? Now, it could be that the person sleeping. I had an adolescent that did. She was sexually abused, and all at once, she was in another things. I mean, she wasn't conscious anymore in the sense that wasn't talking to me. So I remember that there is a way you can sleep, mostly usually it's ice. So I asked the mom, I said, she went and he says, yeah, Cristina, she goes like that because it's too painful for her. Okay, I just put some ice and she just woke up. Okay, something like that.
And it doesn't linger on.
Oh, no. You mean if someone doesn't wake up? Oh, no, it has never happened.
No, I mean, of course the way, but I mean, they don't walk out of there re-traumatized by the.
No, I get them out. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, yeah. And that's rare. It's rare that you trigger something, right?
Well, if it could happen, that's why. But that's why a person should know what to do.
Yeah. And you know, obviously, through your training, of course. And if you had anything, and I want to get back into it, but since we're on this topic of the misconceptions about how hypnosis works, if there was anything to say, here's what hypnosis is and here's what it isn't, because everybody comes in with an idea.
Of course.
And it's often incorrect, right?
For people who don't have the experience, yes.
Yeah. And what do you hear most often what people's expectations are? That's incorrect. A most common misconception.
But I just focus on relaxation.
Okay.
I ask them, have you ever maybe gone to the Holyoke Mall and you find out, how did I get there? My God, I don't remember going through the lights. You were in a state of trance. Okay, you went there because you knew how to get there.
And you're completely functional.
That's exactly. You
responsive, conscious, everything. Right?
That's exactly. Okay.
Oh, that's a good example. All right. So we'll go back to, and I'm jumping around a little bit.
It's okay.
But because we focus a lot here about addiction and alcoholism, and so if somebody has the physical, you always certainly, you've found you're pretty successful with smoking, weight loss, addiction to even hard drugs, let's say heroin,
Yeah.
fentanyl,
Yeah.
cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
You've treated people
Yeah.
through that.
Yeah, I don't do the the medication or things like that. I just help them to change their idea about things. So it's the subconscious. See, Michael, there is something about the subconscious. I can give you something that happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go to Bay State for something, and they put me whatever on the hallway for hours during the night. I didn't want to be there. I want to go home, but the doctor said, "You stay here." The lady came to do the blood pressure for me, and he says, "Oh my God, it's 200." What the nurse was saying like that, and I told her, I said, "Calm down. I don't want to be here. I'm very upset. You need to do one thing for me. You need to leave and measure my blood pressure from whatever you can do it." In 5 minutes, I was able to put my blood pressure 120. And she says to me, "How the heck did you do that, Cristina?" I said, "I know how to put myself into relaxed state. That's his hypnosis." I was able to just take some deep breath for me because I pray. Just in a few minutes, I was able to lower down.
And you can
my
help
blood pressure.
people to do that themselves.
Yes, to relax.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
called self-hypnosis.
And whether it's getting your blood pressure taken or
Yeah.
taking a drug or alcohol or cigarettes, you can help people go through that and be able to
Yes.
recognize and then relax and reframe their brains, right?
Right at this moment, I am so relaxed.
Yeah,
You guys don't know. I'm talking to you,
yeah.
and I'm so relaxed. Now, when I start, maybe I wasn't. But then I say to myself, "Cristina, relax, just let it go." That's what people learn how to tell to themselves. So that's the connection between the subconscious and the conscious mind. If the conscious mind tells to the subconscious, "Relax," the subconscious hear and send this message to the body. If we are able to send messages to a telegram and things like that, how come we're not able to send messages to ourselves?
No, you're right. It's so you're also people with anxiety, depression.
Depression, MRI, public speaking, anything like that. Like people come with anxiety and say, "Cristina, it will never go away." Of course it will go away. The reason you have anxiety because you worry about things that may never happen, okay, or things you don't have control. That's why you have anxiety. Let's talk about things you have control. Okay? And they say, "You're right. Out of a word, I'm making a story." I say, "Yeah, then we have to make a new story to erase the old story." So that's, and they say, "Oh, you're right, anxiety is gone." How come? Because you have learned how to say goodbye to it. You are holding on a new way, new things, a new behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, hypnosis, all it does is seals what you already create.
It's already there.
Yes.
And even for 20 years ago, I had trouble sleeping. And I said, "Oh my gosh, I tried Ambien, I tried this, I
Yeah.
tried that, and nothing ever worked." Somebody
Yes.
suggested hypnosis. I went through it 20 years ago. And it worked for a while. I didn't continue, which I should have, but off and on. Anyway, I do remember it helps for things like that, and things you wouldn't think of, to sleep, anxiety, quitting smoking. And there's so
Nail
many,
biting.
even nail biting.
Oh yes.
So
everything.
there's so many things it can help with that people just don't consider hypnosis for.
Well, because it was the strangest thing. Like I think I heard by Catholic, no, oh my God, no hypnosis. I think it's diabolic. Actually, I'm just gonna tell you, the first hypnosis happened when they were at the Transfiguration, when the apostles went and they saw, all it's in a state of subconscious. So the conscious is there, but you are touching the part of you that is sacred, and you're on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're on a different level and you are relaxed, you could change and alter things that you want. That's why it's done by someone that is ethical and is licensed, not some yo-yo. Okay. So I mean that's the important things. You know, to go to someone and they make sure it's licensed and also certified and licensed by National Association of we call ASH, Society of Clinical Hypnosis.
Okay.
Because you have to have a license, you have to have insurance, you have to have all of that. So
Right. There's a process.
because you're helping people.
Yeah, and you know what you're doing. And after 10 years of hypnosis and 40 years of counseling individuals and families, you have the experience.
But also have the compassion.
Well,
because, you know, people put themselves in your hands, and I think compassion is very important.
well, if somebody wants to learn more, you have a website.
It's called, the easy one that I can tell you is DupreHypnosis.com.
Dupre, D-U-P-R-E, hypnosis.com.
And then we have the best You Through Hypnosis,
This is
which
the
they
book.
see the book and also tells about the hypnosis, but it's mostly about our book and the weight loss. The program is very successful. Actually, I can tell you it's 100% successful.
100%?
Yes. The reason is 100%, okay, because it works. There is no way this program cannot work. It has everything you need. It has what you're supposed to eat that is healthy. Okay, we eat natural, so we don't believe anything. Okay, it's the CBT, the cognitive behavior theory to change behavior. The 6 incentive, it means what person, actually, they gave me this information, I just put it down. I says, what helped you? So it's like a research. And then the last one is the hypnosis. So it has all 4 components.
Yeah.
There's not, the only people that doesn't work is the people who drinks. I can, because when you drink, you're not responsible what you're eating and what you're doing. So if you're an alcoholic, it will not work. No, if you an
You mean the
alcoholic that you
hypnosis
don't
won't
drink.
work?
Let me explain to you.
Yeah.
No, if you were an alcoholic, I mean, no, if you drank before and now you don't drink, it works 100%. If you drink presently and you're an alcoholic, how on earth are you going to follow through to a program when you don't even know what you're doing? That is the only people who are drinking and they're alcoholic and they come to the program and says it doesn't work. It doesn't work because you need to let go of the drinking. First of all, we don't drink into the program when you do the weight loss,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because
Okay.
you want to get the
As far as
toxic
weight
out
loss,
of your body.
so if you talk about going through hypnosis to quit smoking, to quit drugs, to sleep, to different behaviors, but it doesn't work for drinking.
Mike, if you drank last night and you don't know what you did, you don't even know what
Well,
you ate.
Okay, no. But somebody stopped drinking and they wanted to
Oh,
continue to
that's
stop, then that's
perfect.
different. Okay, but they
Oh my
already
God.
have to have stopped. Because they
Yes.
continue drinking, then it throws off the whole
Well,
thing.
the whole thing,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. The
Do
same
you?
thing with smoking. If a person drinks and of course he picks up the cigarette, I can't help it. Yeah.
Mm.
A person needs to, you know,
Mhm.
an addiction is an addiction. So you have to. I mean, it's different. Someone taking drug and
other
needing
than that,
help.
it's 100% successful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and the weight loss and the smoking, I can guarantee you. I mean, and the drug, it takes a much longer. I mean, I don't do miracle. And the drug, it takes
That's
much
a hard.
longer.
If you guarantee it, how can you? I mean, man,
Yeah.
that's good. But you've had that success, the proven success.
I can tell you.
Yeah.
If
Well,
someone came to me and says, I follow everything you told me, Cristina, and it didn't work, I say, that is impossible. How can I eat healthy and it doesn't work? How can I listen to the hypnosis and it doesn't work? How can I change behavior and it doesn't work? That doesn't make any sense.
you don't hear people say that, do you?
No.
Okay. Well, so thanks for coming. There was a lot to
You're
talk
very
about. I
welcome.
think we could go on and on, but
Yeah.
there's a lot I learned. And do you work with any recovery centers, addiction centers? Do you work with any?
Yes,
You
that
do?
people for the people who have a problem with the eating disorder, they always send it to me for
Okay.
after they've gone to a program that they have reestablished their weight.
Yeah, 'cause,
Of course.
Of course, with that kind of success rate, I would say
Eating
so.
disorder, eating disorder, or people call and say, the person is still drinking, went to the program, would you see? I said, absolutely, as long as he doesn't drink when he come in my office.
Well then,
Take the drug when he comes in my office, okay?
Yeah.
But otherwise, there have been cases when a person have come and have taken drug, and I said, you need to go home. Come back next time when you're sober, or
Okay.
when I'm just very kind to them. I
But
said,
at the very least, if somebody wants to know, here's what I'm going through, here's my situation, will this work for me? They could go on your website or give you a call.
Absolutely,
And then you can talk through it, of course.
Our phone number is 413-789-9198, and you just look under Cristina di Nardo-Dupre or under Dupre Hypnosis, and you'll find us.
Yeah. And I as I said, you're an old friend. I've known you for 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
I lost track, and I just learned more from this half hour. I didn't know a lot about what you did. I mean, I knew a little bit, but I just didn't know. So I'm glad we talked about this finally.
Absolutely.
But thanks for coming. And remember, DupreHypnosis.com. The number is 413-789-9198. Is
Very
Cristina
good.
Dupre, and the book is The Best You Through Hypnosis, and can be found on Amazon.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
The Best You Through Hypnosis.
Hypnosis.com.
It was interesting stuff.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
Thank
thanks
you
for
having
coming,
me.
and thanks everybody for listening. I hope you found this as interesting as I have, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks.